other mobile service providers in tracing, freezing, reversing, or recovering funds sent erroneously upon notification by affected consumers. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the legal, technical, and operational limitations, if any, that prevent mobile money service providers from freezing or reversing erroneous transactions within a reasonable time after notification. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, the measures taken by Central Bank of Kenya, the Communication Authority of Kenya, the Competition Authority of Kenya to protect consumers, resolve complaints, and enforce compliance by mobile money service providers. Number 5, Mr. Speaker, the status of any proposed policy, regulatory, or compensation framework intended to provide clear recourse for victims of erroneous money mobile transfer, including whether service providers will be required to establish mandatory reversal, escrow, freezing, or compensation mechanisms. Mr. Speaker, the last one, the steps here undertaken by the Central Bank of Kenya, Competition Authority of Kenya, and Communications Authority of Kenya, CAK, to ensure transparency and accountability by mobile money service providers through public discourse of complaints, reversals, unrecovered funds, enforcement actions, sanctions, and consumer redress mechanisms. Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank you for the indulgence.
Senator from Wajir County, you may proceed with a statement that had earlier been dropped.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for your indulgence. I request for a statement on the irregular development of affordable housing projects on public and community land. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of national concern regarding the irregular development of affordable housing projects on public and community land. Mr. Speaker, sir, grave concerns have arisen from the Auditor General's report on the affordable housing program, which reveals that numerous projects have been undertaken without lawful allocation, proper documentation, or adherence to established legal procedures. These actions contravene constitutional provisions, particularly Articles 10, 40, 60, 62, and 63 on national values, property rights, and land management. They further breach the Land Act, Land Registration Act, Community Land Act, Public Finance Management Act, and the Physical and Land Use Planning Act, pointing to systemic lapses within implementation agencies, including the State Department of Housing and Urban Development and the National Land Commission, NRC. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, a comprehensive register of all affordable housing projects flagged by the Auditor General as lacking proper land ownership documentation with details on allocation and implementation status. 2, the legal status of land on which these projects sit, confirming whether due process was followed in allocation, reservation, or conservation. 3, compliance with the constitutional requirements for public participation and consent, particularly in relation to community land under the Community Land Act. 4, the steps taken to regularize land ownership, including issuance of valid titles or leasehold interests to secure beneficiaries' rights. 5, actions taken against culpable officers or entities and detailed preventive measures to ensure strict compliance with land laws, planning standards, and public finance management in the current and future projects. 6, whether investigations have been initiated by relevant oversight and enforcement agencies, including the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, and provide their current status. Signed, Andrew Mtato Koiti, MP, Senator from Busia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Mundegi.
Mr. Speaker, sir, request for statement on increases in student strikers in secondary school across Embu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, rise person to standing order 53-1 to check a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on matter of county-wide concern regarding the alarming increases in student strike in secondary school across Embu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, a stable and uninterrupted learning environment is essential for the effective implementation of the school curriculum, particularly during the second term when candidates and other learners are preparing for their final examinations. The recent change in unrest and strikes in several schools has disrupted learning, caused destructions of property, and raised give concern among parents, teachers, and the wider public. Report indicate that institutions such as Kegonge Boys High School, Ken Girls High School, Chicago Day Secondary School, Kiamuringa Secondary School, Kangaro School, Kavutere Secondary School, Kanyuere Boys High School, Thagaya Girls High School, and Katondore Secondary School, among others, have been affected. In the statement, the committee should address the following: whether the Ministry of Education has undertaken investigations to determine the underlying cause of the increasing student strike and unrest in Embu County and across the country. The immediate steps being implemented by the ministry to contain the current situations and prevent.
And today, Honorable Speaker, you have presented the contribution of members of Parliament, including yourself and a number of us, to support. And when I went through that list of the students being supported, I've seen some students with fees arrears of up to 120,000 shillings, who, out of the benevolence of members of Parliament, they now have support to continue their education. And these are the sacrifices parents make, and we are making as leaders also to support many of these students. When we went to Thika High School, Honorable Speaker, there was a young man who is seated in the Speaker's gallery today, Isaac Mwai, who went to the school that I went to, Kikuyu Township Primary School. That young man went to Kikuyu Township Primary School, and he reminded the president when he met him at the science exhibition, that when the president 3 years ago went to commission KCPE at Kikuyu Township Primary School, that young man was a student at Kikuyu Township Primary School. But out of sheer discipline, he's now found himself in Thika High School, a very good school, and together with Terence Githuku and the other students, they are leading a student's body. And I want to speak to these young ones and ask them, please maintain discipline in school as you do at home. Many of the cases you hear, especially in this second term, Honorable Speaker, is because students probably are fatigued and want to go home. If you want to go home, you do not need to burn down anything. Not a dormitory, not a classroom, not a school bus, nothing. Honorable Speaker, I heard the governor for Nakuru over the weekend pose the question, could these young ones be learning from us that whenever we want to protest, we must burn down buildings, we must burn down people's shops and people's cars? I saw the other week, people were protesting in Githurai and they had to burn down somebody's car. We must lead by example as leaders, and as parents, not just as leaders, as the people who are parents, anybody who is a parent or an aspiring parent. If we want to protest on anything as a country, let us not have fires everywhere, because these children could be copying from us or from the country. Therefore, I say that careful not to condemn anybody, Honorable Speaker, but to plead with the nation that we learn from our past mistakes. When the school in Ukambani, I think it was Changuli High School, when we lost 67 students in that school, there were measures that were taken, some of which I believe were already in place in this school. But that tells you we have a deeper problem than the physical things that we do. I don't know whether it will be enough to even put fire detectors and fire suppression systems in all these schools, but can we afford it as a country? Will parents be able to afford fire suppression systems in each and every dormitory in our schools, Honorable Speaker? Therefore, it calls for a deeper conversation. It is not enough, Honorable Speaker, today to just point fingers at each other. No, I heard somebody say that Parliament was praying when there was a fire in the school, Honorable Speaker. I know it's also reckless of anybody, whether you're in the media or you are a leader in whatever sphere, to claim that Parliament was praying at a time our children were burning in school, Honorable Speaker. The National Prayer Breakfast is something that rests in our calendar in Parliament. It is known, it is a set date. And we set that date last year. Nobody had planned for this fire, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, that person who was saying, and I don't to dignify them with naming them, because they don't need to be dignified from this floor, may I say, shame on you that you can take advantage of such an unfortunate incident to just throw barbs at this house. Even prayers, Honorable Speaker, I want to say, prayers work. And we must pray for our children. We must pray for our children in schools, in our homes, and as much as we pray for our nation, Honorable Speaker. Let me say again, this is a time that we are being called to converse individually in our homes with our children, collectively in schools, even on the platforms, political platforms and other platforms that we get, in our churches, because, Honorable Speaker, again, many of our church leaders have become more politicians than politicians. And that's why I continue to honor the Muslim faith, because I never hear anybody in a mosque speaking politics. But for us as Christians, this must be our time for introspection, to ask ourselves, even as we point fingers at administrators in schools, as we point fingers at political leaders, those of us who are serving in the church, where are we failing in shepherding these young ones in the right manner, Honorable Speaker? Because there is a failure somewhere. And I say that without pointing fingers at anybody, saying that it is a time that we need to come together and have a conversation as Kenyans and as humankind, Honorable Speaker, because we have a problem. And it is not a small problem, Speaker. It is a big, big, big problem. If we do not address it now, we will have more major problems in the coming days. Because these things that we see, these small incidences, a fire in a school, deaths in schools, an accident here and there, a small demonstration that turns out to become a very violent thing and you end up losing lives. These are just manifestations of a bigger problem that we must address, Honorable Speaker. My condolences to the parents. I have seen the anguish and the pain of those parents, and I identify with the pain that they feel. That you sent your young girl to go to school to secure her future, and now you have no child out of the actions of somebody else, Honorable Speaker. It is indeed painful, and I must say we must be careful what we say about these incidences, because we must remember their parents who are grieving, their siblings of those young ones. Yesterday, I just saw on Facebook, Honorable Speaker, a young man share the pain that he's going through after losing the sister, and sharing pictures of the time he spent with the sister, even as she went back to school this term. And that these small incidences, a fire in a school, deaths in schools, an accident here and there, a small demonstration that turns out to become a very violent thing and you end up losing lives. These are just manifestations of a bigger problem that we must address, Honorable Speaker. My condolences to the parents. I have seen the anguish and the pain of those parents, and I identify with the pain that they feel. That you sent your young girl to go to school to secure her future, and now you have no child out of the actions of somebody else, Honorable Speaker. It is indeed painful, and I must say we must be careful what we say about these incidences, because we must remember their parents who are grieving, their siblings of those young ones. Yesterday, I just saw on Facebook, Honorable Speaker, a young man share the pain that he's going through after losing the sister, and sharing pictures of the time he spent with the sister, even as she went back to school this term. And that girl is no more, Honorable Speaker. It is indeed painful, and we must share in that grief and pain with those parents and the school, and also recognize that these young ones, Honorable Speaker, even those in Utumishi, are traumatized. Maybe they never imagined it would get to what it has gotten to, but it is what it is now.
Thank you.
It will affect them for a long time, and we must ask maybe the chair of the Education Committee to make sure they engage with the Ministry of Education to make sure that there is some level of counseling that is done to these students and those who neighbor that school. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The rest, let's take 2 minutes each. Robert Mbui. Give Robert Mbui. Is it on this, Robert, or something else? There's a mic next to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, you know, I've actually in my previous life been involved one time in handling a matter of arson in a school. And Mr. Speaker, what was surprising is that the children that were involved in that case of arson, majority of them had no idea why they were involved. And only one is actually the one who had the plan, because the intention was for the school to be closed so that they could go and restock their supply of drugs because they had run out. So sometimes there are very flimsy reasons that are used to cause these cases. And Mr. Speaker, arson
Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. A warm welcome to you, and we are glad that you are joining us for these proceedings this afternoon. Currently on your screens, that is inside the National Assembly.
Ushuru wa 0.8% kwa mauzo ya majani chai.
Mattresses metallic. Are you going to make the curtains metallic? So we may need to find another solution, not to deal with those things on a half-baked measures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Dorothy Kiara. There is a lot of interest, so take a minute each.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to join Honorable Mother Wangari, MP for Gilgil, in condoling with the families that have lost their loved ones. Honorable Speaker, the immeasurable pain, torture, and torment that these parents are going through, including their teachers, the classmates who are alive, it is immeasurable, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to say sincerely, I condole with those families and wish those that are in hospital quick recovery. Honorable Speaker, it is the high time that when we talk of commission of inquiries, Honorable Speaker, something that happened when Bombolulu School was burnt down, something that happened when Changuli School was also burnt down, these commission of inquiries give recommendations, Honorable Speaker. But at the end of the day, very few recommendations are implemented. It is the high time, Honorable Speaker, that we speak our mind, we search and know what is really healing our students in our schools. Come out, Honorable Speaker, and come out with the recommendations that Honorable Speaker will cure this. Even if it means having our schools as day schools, so be it, Honorable Speaker. Life is more precious.
Otienda Amolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I condole with the families that have lost the little ones. And I think we must accept that we have all failed the children who perished. We failed them through the school. We failed them through the government. We failed them through policies. And even we as Parliament, we are part of those who failed them. We must collectively apologize that we have failed those children. Mr. Speaker, this has become a trend. The idea of banning schools and school unrest is a trend that must be examined. As we examine ourselves and agree with the majority leader, we must examine the values that we are instilling in the children. We must examine the place of religion. Many of us, when we were growing up, raising a child was a collective responsibility. Now it has been left to the parent and the teacher. The teacher is disempowered because there's not much the teacher can do other than warn. Many of us parents, once we submit the child to school, we wash our hands. The child is left to the internet. Some of the things they are doing are things that clearly can only be brought from the internet. We must re-examine even the place of access to the internet for everyone. Mr. Speaker, I say only two things as I finish. One, I think it is time that as Parliament, we form an ad hoc committee to examine unrest in schools. It is not enough to leave it to the department anymore. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I think that we must also re-examine the circumstances that we're putting the schools to. If you look at the images of that school, and that's a high-end school, you see that the dormitory was highly congested. There were beds on the corridors, there were beds next to the door. This 100% transition without the proper infrastructure is part of the problem. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Meli. Okay, Meli, yield the floor. You'll speak later.
Yes? Let me comment last, yes.
Listen to others first. Yes, Mwalimu Taitumu.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. First of all, let me tender my condolences to the families that lost their young ones. Number two, Mr. Speaker, this is an exhibition of high levels of moral decadence in our society. Our moral social fabric, Honorable Speaker, is wanting. In relation to what happened in the Utumishi Academy, Mr. Speaker, some principals live in ivory tower, such that there is no flow of information from teachers to the principal, particularly where we have the girls. The men who teach there, they cannot pass information to the principals because if they do, at times they are victimized, hence bringing a gap between the administrators and the teachers who should be manning those institutions. As it has been said by the majority leader, Mr. Speaker, it is said that monkeys see, monkeys do. What is happening in our society today?
Your time is up. Mama Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kutoa rambirambi zangu kwa shule ya Utumishi kwa watoto walioteketea na moto. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jukumu letu sisi sote, na hasa nielezee wazazi jukumu la kumwachia mwanafunzi kwa mwalimu ni jukumu ambalo ni lake yeye mzazi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, hii ni mambo ambayo yametokea, sio mara ya kwanza Mheshimiwa Spika. Ni wakati umefika mambo haya yaweze kuangaliwa, na mwalimu pia niweze kumwelezea kuwa ikiwa mwanafunzi unaona na uzito wakati wa mtihani, tusiwasukume sana. Na nielezee pia wanafunzi, na wengi wako hapa, kuanguka mtihani sio mwisho wa maisha. Pengine hii ndio inafanya mtoto anaona mtihani umetolewa tarehe 16 hadi tarehe 2 hapa anaamua kuchoma shule. Hawa ni criminals Mheshimiwa Spika, wanafaa kuwe ndani, na wazazi pia wa take responsibility. Tumepoteza watoto wengi sana Mheshimiwa Spika, akiwemo mtoto kutoka Mombasa. Kwa hiyo mimi na
Gogo Boen.
Mr. Speaker, let me join my colleagues also to condole with the family of the 16 girls. Mr. Speaker, and to say as a parliament and as a country, Honorable Speaker, we need to reflect and relook again this issue of boarding schools. Mr. Speaker, if you check in the developed countries, there are very few or even no boarding schools. I think we need to relook about boarding schools as a country. Number two, Honorable Speaker, we need to come up as a country and also as a ministry, and the chairman of education, Meli, must listen to this, Honorable Speaker. We need to have a standardized and policy, especially on the domes across the country, Honorable Speaker. You will find that there's what we saw from those domes, they were very congested. In a cube which is supposed to take 12 girls, they are more than 12.
Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to join my colleagues to condole with the family of the 16 girls who lost their souls during the inferno. Honorable Speaker, whereas the fire was taking off in Utumishi, it also happened in my constituency. Two schools, Emulama Primary School and Ingotse Boys High School, Honorable Speaker, together with Chabuisi High School. Honorable Speaker, this is a bad precedent that we are seeing. The issue we must look at is, can we call for a whole comprehensive understanding, maybe through Parliament and any other investigatory organization, authority, Honorable Speaker, that the Parliament sets up an ad hoc committee, the way my colleague has said, to look at what is happening in fires across the country. Honorable Speaker, listening to what is happening, quoting my place, Honorable Speaker, is that a few of my students had issues, but the principal did not bring out those issues on time, Honorable Speaker. Can we have a way of
Thank you. Maclap, death has no gender.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My very sincere condolence to the parents who lost their loving ones, and quick recovery to those students who are still having injuries. Mr. Speaker, I am one of the first members of Parliament to be in that school, together with the Minister for Education, the PS, and the Minister for Interior. Mr. Speaker, what I saw is not very good for this country. Mr. Speaker, even today, I am equally affected because one of the students come from Barwesa, and their father is Raymond Kangogo, Chepkonga, and up to today, they don't know where their daughter is because out of the 16, 11 students have not been able to be identified. So, Mr. Speaker, I ask also the forensic people to speed up.
Your time is up. We should try to come to an end on this. Wanjala. Wanjala.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, I send condolences to the parents and Kenyans to have lost young kids. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I want to advise Kenyans, when they are demonstrating, they should not be burning tires on the roads, because these are some of the things children are seeing, and they want also that when they have a problem, they must burn schools, the way their parents and protesters burn roads. Honorable Speaker, even the parents of those children, or even the parents of those children, I saw them at the police station and they behaved like those children. That means show me your friend and I'll tell who you are. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Naomi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My sincere condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones, the young ones. It is unfortunate that we have lost so many lives as a result of fire in schools. Again, my sincere wishes to those who are in hospital for quick recovery, as I also pray that those students will be given enough counseling, and the parents, because what they are going through is serious and they need proper attention. As a nation, again, we need to seriously address the issue of school boarding schools so that we come up with clear strategies to protect our children from such incidences. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I give my condolences to the families of the girls who lost their lives. Mr. Speaker, what I want to encourage us, this is not the first time as a country that we are facing this. So let us not have knee-jerk reaction to this situation, condemning parents, condemning teachers, condemning everyone, when this problem might be much bigger than this. Let us, after this, look comprehensively at what the situation is. It's not necessarily about boarding. It may not necessarily about people burning tires, but we could be facing a much deeper problem. Let us, after this, look at what is bedeviling our country, especially our young ones. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Can we end here? Omongina. You are Omsubat, you are not Omongina.
But they have given me the mic, Mr.
Omongina.
Speaker. Yeah.
Not you, Donya.
Obviously, this is Omongina. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want this afternoon to send my condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones, the very young souls who are going to be very vibrant in our country. We want to say pole sana for what has happened, and I want to talk to parents. My dear parents, wherever you are, let's take up our role as parents to advise our children, to talk to our children whenever they go to boarding schools. Those children need our guidance. They need to be taught on how to behave, on how to live with others, and for sure, this has been the greatest setback that we have had as Kenyans, and the forensic investigation should be done.
Okay, Donya.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The issue of boarding schools, Mr. Speaker, we as members of parliament can pass a law that says something on boarding schools, which I suggest we should not have boarding schools because, Mr. Speaker, more deaths have come because of these boarding schools. You can all remember, honorable members, when our children open school, we are told a certain bus has caused an accident, a certain bus, all the directions where our children go. That's number one, and safety for our learners. Number two, we must have suggestion box in our schools so that our learners can express their dissatisfaction, and the committee which will be formed can go around, Mr. Speaker, and get to know what the learners are going through. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Meli, tutafungia hapo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to
order, Meli. Who do you want to inform, Karolo Mondi? He's not said anything worth being informed. Go on, Meli. Meli, go on. I give you 2 minutes as chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues and Kenyans in conveying my condolences to the parents, to the families, to Utumishi Academy and the Republic for the loss of the 16 children. Honorable Speaker, members have spoken here, and I want to join them and agree with them in a number of issues. But more importantly, Honorable Speaker, fires in schools and riots is not a new thing in this country. You remember the Kilifi incident where we lost so many students. A few years ago, we had the fire in Endarasha. Now we have fire in Utumishi Academy. Honorable Speaker, schools are actually a reflection of our families and societies. What has really happened, it has been recommended all these years. I remember the Kilemi Muria report, which investigated schools, and even the Koech report of 2007-2008. We had the Kilemi Muria report of 2015-16, And one of the things that they discussed, Honorable Speaker, is the safety of dormitories, safety of learners, and how those windows should be structured. In fact, through that recommendation, Honorable Speaker, they recommended schools not to have grills, that doors should open outside, and many other recommendations. Honorable Speaker, the biggest issue that we have is the implementing agencies, not sticking to policy, not sticking to programs, and more importantly, putting students, so many students, to be congested in schools. A few days ago, Honorable Speaker, you realize that we admitted grade 10, and majority of day schools in this country, with so many classrooms, enough teachers, do not have students because there was no proper admission processes. So that you'll realize a number of C1, C2 schools, crammed schools with thousands of students or hundreds of students, and they went even against the advice of the Education Committee. Honorable Speaker, I know the homicide group is investigating.
Give him 1 minute.
Yes, the homicide team is investigating. I had a discussion with the IG, and they are doing a good job. I even discussed with the Member of Parliament, Honorable Wangari. But the idea here, Speaker, is actually to crack the whip, especially on management, on the issue of overcrowding, and more importantly, also let's come back home and see how we can carry out the discipline process in homes, not only in schools, and even across the country.
What's the point
Honorable
of
Speaker.
order? Milemba?
Yes.
Take your seat, Mele.
The honorable member, who is also the chair of education, is very well aware that is the one who presided over the intake process of the grade 10. And it was done in such a manner that there was no limit. And schools are under serious pressure, Honorable Speaker. And even preliminary investigations are showing that the girls who banned the dormitory were grade 10. And he presided over that process together with the minister. Is in order to say...
I already directed Milemba that don't say anything that would prejudice the homicide investigation.
Apologize, Honorable Speaker. So please let me ask him to be very, very candid and also very straight that there's something wrong in the policy of intake which has made the students to be completely congested. By the way, Honorable Speaker, it's all in all the boarding schools, and let's do away with the boarding schools. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Carola Mond, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to inform Honorable Mele that all we have been discussing is the hardware, but we have the software, which I did present successfully before his committee, the Education Laws Amendment Act, that would enshrine our national values in the curriculum, because what we are dealing with is failure of national values. Actually, what we are now discussing is the hardware portion of it. But if you look at the situation in Utumishi, it is collapse of the value systems that has led to this crisis. And could now the honorable member, majority leader, speed up the tabling of the education amendment laws so that we can entrench nationhood science as a mandatory subject in our national curriculum to deal with this kind of problem.
Yes,
Thank you,
Honorable
Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I do agree overall with the honorable member for Suba, because he came before the committee, and that is a very good idea. Suba South, yes. But, Honorable Speaker, I do not agree with my good friend, Honorable Milemba, because I do not preside over admission processes in this country. We oversight the Education Committee, and we did mention to them that problem of overcrowding, and I don't want to go into it because we are having investigations now. But generally, I want to say that our schools, it is not an issue of boarding. It is because majority of us, including Mr. Speaker and myself and everyone else, went to boarding schools. And that time, no one was being banned. No schools were banned at that time. We need to relook again on how we are running our policies and programs on school systems in this country. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll end it here. Honorable Mele, you had members talk of an ad hoc committee to deal with this matter. Your committee under Standing Order 216.5 we don't need an ad hoc committee. Your committee can investigate, inquire into, and report on all matters relating to the mandate, management, activities, administration, operations, and estimates of the assigned ministries and departments. So you can move your committee without being caused by the House to not only look at Utumishi, but all the other schools that are going up in flames, and tell the country what is the problem and what the possible solutions are.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I take it up, and I think that that has been the issue, because when I was discussing yesterday, the IG told us that the homicides are out. Now we are going to sit down and see how we are going to investigate and carry out those issues, not only for Utumishi Academy, but the whole country. Thank you.
Member for Thika, what is it?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just also wanted to inform Honorable Mary, just 1 second, that when we are looking at all these things, in these schools, I think we need to have therapists or counselors. Some of these children, they need somebody to talk to, and then I think the pressure is too much, and they don't know where to wear their issues. So I would say when we are looking into it, we look at their mental wellness, because at times I think they have too much pressure, but they don't know where to vent the pressure. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
And honorable members, I think one member said, and I want to encourage, talk to your constituents. Parents have surrendered their children to social media completely. There are hardly any parents who sit with their children to tell them the do's and don'ts of life. The parents feel that once you give your child a smartphone, your problem is over. It's the beginning of an even bigger problem, and we need to deal with that. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery HGM Tinganga School from Kiambu Town, Kiambu, Mwanyalo Comprehensive School from Undanyi, Taita Taveta, Mutwangombe School from Mwingi Central, Kitui, Kiriti Senior School from Tetu, Nyeri, and from the Speaker's Gallery, Ruadia Girls School from Kangema, Muranga. On my behalf and on behalf of Parliament, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. The next statement response is Gitari in the House. Honorable Gitari, and the Chair, Administration and Internal Security. I've been informed that Ngaleche, you are holding brief for the Chair. Are you? Are you ready with the statement response?
Speaker.
Go ahead.
Thank you. This is a statement on the operationalization of administrative units in Kirinyaga Central Constituency. Mr. Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Kirinyaga Central Constituency, Honorable Joseph Kitari, has requested to be appraised on the delay in the operationalization of administrative units in his constituency. The Honorable Member particularly sought to be informed, A, the reasons for the delay in operationalization of the administrative units within Kirinyaga County, specifically Kenyei, Kadare, and Kiaga administrative units, and B, the expected timeline for full operationalization of administrative units, including deployment of personnel and provision of the necessary infrastructure. I state as follows. A, the reason for the delay in operationalization of the administrative units within Kirinyaga County, specifically Kenyei, Kadare, and Kiaga administrative units, Honorable Chair, the Ministry has adopted a phased approach in the operationalization of new created administrative units across the country to ensure equitable distribution of resources amongst all counties. This phased implementation was necessitated by budgetary constraints that have affected the deployment of personnel, establishment of offices, and provision of necessary infrastructure and logistical support for the units. Consequently, the operationalization of Kenyei, Kathare, and Kiaga administrative units in Kirinyaga County has experienced delay due to the inadequate funding. Additionally, the ministry is developing regulations to guide the process and modalities for the creation of gazettement of new administrative units across the country. A key requirement in the gazettement process is the demonstration of adequate public participation in line with the provision of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Additionally, the government must consider the financial implications associated with the establishment of new administrative units, including the issuance of authority to incur expenditure, that is the AIE payment, of personnel emolument and facilitation of officers deployed to the new stations. B, the expected timeline for full operationalization of an administrative unit include deployment of personnel and provision of the necessary infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, the timeline for the full operationalization of the administrative units is dependent on the availability of adequate budgetary resources. Once additional funding are availed, the ministry will immediately commence the deployment of personnel and provision of the necessary infrastructure and logistical support required for the operationalization of the gazetted administrative units. The ministry remains committed to bringing government services closer to the people and therefore appeal for the National Assembly to allocate additional resources to enable the ministry to operationalize all gazetted administrative units across the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Gitare, that is very clear. Is there anything else you want to prosecute? Yes, Honorable Gitare, there's a mic next to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the response that we've gotten from the chair. Mr. Speaker, the only thing that I wanted to inform the chair is that public participation was done for all those sub-locations. Maybe we can talk of the budget constraints and the others, but that was done.
Melachai?
Mr. Speaker, the chair is around and I think he can respond to it.
Once you start, you go to the end. This is not a relay.
Thank you.
Yes. We'll end it there. Yes, Junet? Give Honorable Junet the mic. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to seek your indulgence on a matter of national importance. Mr. Speaker, you know we are living in, this house is the house that addresses matters of concern to the people. That's what the Constitution says. And we are in an era, Mr. Speaker, of misinformation, disinformation, and all kinds of things through the social media and all other media, places. So, Mr. Speaker, there is this issue of Ebola in the country, and a lot of issues has been raised about it, quarantines facilities in different parts of the country, but we, as a house, we don't have clear information or clear, information from the executive on how the matter began and what is happening and what is the plan and what is the way forward. So it was, I was seeking your indulgence if you can summon the minister, the CS for Health, to appear before the House so that he can explain and give the correct information to the representative of the people so that we can disseminate the right information to the people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Junet. Honorable members, I was visited in my chamber by the Chair for Health, the Honorable Dr. Nyikal, who sought direction on this matter and wanted to deal with the matter in the committee. The matter was also raised in House Business Committee, and the House Business Committee resolved, and I have directed that tomorrow at 2:45, we will have the Minister for Health, the Honorable Duale, in the House for strictly 1 hour, because tomorrow is an allotted day, and I've instructed the majority leader to communicate with the Honorable Duale to be in Parliament not later than 2:30, so that at 2:45 we give him 1 hour, and the members with concerns will make their interventions after he gives a statement to the House. On the same matter, Karoli, what is it?
Honorable Speaker, for the benefit of the general public and pursuant to Article 35, but also I think Section 23 of the Powers and Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, could we also ask the Minister to avail to the House all the relevant agreements and subsequent protocols regarding our cooperation on matters of health with the United States of America?
You ask him when he comes here?
Yes, tomorrow. If he can bring those documents too. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Nyikal?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On your separate issue, I think on Ebola we have dealt with it. You wait for tomorrow.
And I just wanted to add a little on Ebola. As we had indicated the committee level, as we'll deal with it in the House, I think there's still need for the committee to go into a lot more details.
Let's deal with the matter tomorrow, then I'll give you direction.
Okay, thanks.
Now I've given you the floor on what you requested.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I had requested, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to make a personal statement on the death of my father, Mzee Eliud Nyikalo Kaka, who died on 11th of April 2026 at the grand old age estimated to be 104 years. He was buried on the 2nd of May this year at our home in Seme constituency in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I wish on behalf of our family to truly thank this august House and express great appreciation for the support we got from this House and other arms of government and other arms and institutions of government of Kenya. Starting with you, Mr. Speaker, the clerks of the National Assembly and the Senate, leadership of both houses, and all members of both sides of the divide of the Parliament, I express great appreciation. I express more appreciation for 3 members of Parliament, Honorable Patrick Munene, Honorable Ron, and Honorable Martin, who coordinated very closely with our family during the preparation for the Mzee's funeral. Mr. Speaker, I also got a message of condolence from His Excellency the President. Many cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries passed their messages. Some principal secretaries also visited our home in Seme to grieve with the family. Mr. Speaker, some of this I did not really expect at all. Mr. Speaker, governors from various counties passed condolences and support to our family. Numerous colleagues from this House visited our home. From the medical fraternity, professional bodies, and academia condoled with us. Mr. Speaker, it is rare for a person who is neither sitting nor a past member of Parliament to be eulogized or even mentioned in this august House. You, Mr. Speaker, offered my father this rare opportunity to be mentioned and eulogized in this House. As a man who valued education, hard work, integrity, and good governance, I believe his spirit will appreciate this. Mr. Speaker, the presence of so many members of Parliament, so many of you, my colleagues, at the burial on the 2nd of May left me humbled and members of our family speechless. They didn't expect it. Many governors also attended. Mr. Speaker, it was a great and solemn occasion, though tainted by a sad incident towards the end. The incident was when a political leader arrived at the function with a large group of rowdy followers who proceeded to interrupt the funeral. The group harassed political leaders, some of whom had to leave before the service was over. Many mourners were frightened and scattered. Mr. Speaker, this incident raises a serious national issue on how we, as political leaders, conduct ourselves at funerals. Funerals are sad and painful occasions for families where they need utmost peace to grieve. Are they really the occasions to settle political scores with other leaders or demonstrate political might at the expense of grieving families, visitors, and scattering mourners? Should funerals not be just the occasion for leaders to wish families well in their painful circumstances? Is humility not a core of service to the people? Mr. Speaker, is our habit of moving with great and rowdy crowds in our families and disturbing crowds in funerals and disturbing families and the public in general, is it in order? Mr. Speaker, is it not possible that our standing orders may even look at our conduct in public, particularly where there are serious interference to public order? Mr. Speaker, I leave all these questions in the minds of us leaders here for a serious debate now or in the future. But above all, Mr. Speaker, I particularly rose to thank this House, thank you, and thank you all my colleagues for the support you showed when I lost my father. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and the whole House.
Thank you, Dr. Nyikal. Robert Mbui, you had requested to raise something, or is over?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise on Standing Order 83. And this is, Mr. Speaker,
Order members, can you disband those kamkunjis?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on Standing Order 83, and this is on orderly conduct of debate in the House. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order 83 allows members to raise on points of order when another member is making contribution. And ideally, Mr.
You are out
Speaker,
of order. Who are you menacing? Take your seats.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So the Standing Order 83 basically deals with a point of order can be raised at any point when a member is on their floor contributing. And this is on any motion or any debate. But Mr. Speaker, we have noted that many times members are interrupted when they are raising their concerns or when they are debating on very frivolous points of order. Mr. Speaker, the standing orders are clear. The matters upon which a member can be interrupted. It could be probably they are being irrelevant, maybe they are being asked to substantiate something. But Mr. Speaker, many times members stand up on points of order, but they don't even mention what point of order and proceed to actually execute their own debates. So Mr. Speaker, my concern is, how do we handle this so that members can get an opportunity to debate, this being a debating chamber? Mr. Speaker, I also wanted to point out the Standing Order number 97, which, Mr. Speaker, deals with the limitation of debate, the amount of time that a member is given to be able to execute their discussion. So, Mr. Speaker, when another member rises on a point of order and you are on the floor and you have a maximum of 5 minutes, does that mean that if that other member spends 5 minutes on frivolous points of order, that 5 minutes is taken out of the member who is on the floor? So, Mr. Speaker, I wanted you to give us direction so that as we organize ourselves to debate, we know how to do it in an orderly manner so that members don't take advantage of the standing orders, which are very clear, and try and attempt to circumvent debate in the floor of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Robert Mbui. I've heard you. The rules of the House are very clear. If a member is on the floor and you are debating something and you embark on a misadventure that is irrelevant to what is on the floor, you attract interventions and interruptions from your colleagues. When they do so, you will not be spared by being given added time. But whoever is in the chair, if the points of order are evidently frivolous, as you put it, or calculated at wasting your time to pursue your points. The chair has a discretion to give the member on the floor additional time and even to curtail frivolous points of order. Because if you look at the standing orders, a member who consistently and persistently stands on frivolous points of order can be ruled to be out of order and grossly disorderly in his conduct. So this decorum should be observed. But I've always also told you that the cant and banter of debate is such that we are not in a church where the priest's homily is not interfered with. We are in a house of debate, and sometimes interventions and interjections and cross-floor speeches also liven the house. But we will not encourage members who deliberately interrupt others on a manner that is inconsistent with the subject on the floor. The chair will always give you additional time. And I'll speak to my team, from the deputy speaker to my panelists, to ensure that that is done. Yes, Milemba?
This is not frivolous, but the honorable member who has stood on that point of order, we had a chance of this parliament sponsoring us to both the Westminster and Australia. And he was there when we witnessed the type of debate that goes on in the Westminster Parliament. And it's thorough, it is investigative, and guys, people come with real facts and points. And therefore, it's very unfortunate that he wants now to take us back to the boring debates where you cannot be challenged if you're not having the real facts quickly. I would really advise that, and when we came out of the place, Honorable Speaker, we agreed that even those of us in the panel under you must allow debate and facts and challenges. I want to remind Honorable Mbui.
Honorable Milemba, you are saying what I've just said. So you are irrelevant. That is exactly what I said. That when you are in the chair, this is not a church where the priest's homily is not interfered with. This is a house of debate. And if somebody is irrelevant, he will attract the wrath of his colleagues. If somebody is raising good points, I remember when I was in the House of Senate, I would finish my speech of 1 hour and members would demand that I be given extra time to carry on with the debate. Because you are speaking relevantly and educating your colleagues on issues before the House. But if you stand here and you start attacking your DO, who is not a member, who is not a subject of debate in this House, certainly you will attract other members to tell you off. Next order. But thank you for raising that, Robert. We want to have quality debate and members to be given time to debate matters meaningfully. Yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I largely do agree with you, and I think probably what the honorable member is referring to was last week when Honorable Ndindi Nyoro was being taken on by several members. Mr. Speaker, I think that was one of the most lively moments in the House. This is not a funeral, Mr. Speaker, and I even told Honorable Ndindi that he's actually learned the art of opposition very, very well. It's just that we shouldn't personalize issues too much and take things too much to heart, but raise our issues of concern in a manner that also makes the House lively. It's not a do or die, Mr. Speaker. So I think let us also, we used to call it in the other House comedy hour, but there's many serious things that are said in jest. So we can say our serious issues in jest. I think let's not make this House, and I think you should not be worried because you did a good job even when you're sitting as Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, and I can tell you, Honorable Millie and others, that it is perfectly in order to challenge a member and ask him or her, when was your soul moment? When did you transform from Saul to Paul? This is part of debate in the House, and I would not see anything wrong with that. If you somersault like a chameleon in your debate in the House, you attract your colleagues to challenge you. Next order.
Order number 8, the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 17 of 2025, second reading, question to be put.
Rindikiri, take your seat. Honorable members, we will now put the question at order number 8, which is the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 17 of 2025, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. Sorry. Go ahead.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Public Finance Management Act and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 9, motion. Report on public petition number 21 of 2026 regarding access to health care by cancer patients in the country. Mover to reply.
Nikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to reply to the motion for the adoption of the report of the public petition number 21 of 2025 regarding access to the health care in cancer patients in the country. Honored Speaker, at the onset, I wish to sincerely thank all honorable members who have contributed to this motion and shared valuable insights on the challenges facing cancer patients and their families across the country. Mr. Speaker, cancer remains one of the leading causes of morbidity and mortality in Kenya and continue to impose immense social and emotional financial burdens on the affected household. The issue raised by the petitioners therefore touch on matters of great national concern. In considering the petition, the committee engaged relevant stakeholders, including Ministry of Health, the Social Health Authority, healthcare professionals, patient advocacy groups. The committee carefully examined the systemic challenges affecting access to cancer, including inadequate screening and for early detection, unequal contribution of oncology facilities across the country, shortages of specialized healthcare personnel, high costs of diagnosis, treatment, and supportive care, delays in accessing treatment services, limited public awareness on cancer prevention, management, and financial hardships faced by patients. Mr. Speaker, honorable members who contributed to this motion rightly emphasized the need to strengthen preventive health care and screening. The committee agrees that early detection is really the answer, and I think that is part of the recommendations we have. The committee further notes that the concerns raised regarding the concentration of special cancer units in few centers, and members express the need to have cancer facilities and cancer centers in various places, parts of the country, equally distributed, to actually avoid long distance travels and associated expenses. The committee also appreciates the concerns raised in affordability of treatment. Despite ongoing reforms in the health sector, many cancer patients continue to incur significant out-of-pocket expenses. And Mr. Speaker, the members noted, and rightly so, that the benefit package we have for cancer patients now is low, and we recommended that this be increased from 450,000 per year to 800. And Mr. Speaker, I can actually report that that has been acted on, and it is in the report of the committee. Additionally, members highlight the importance of investing in human resource. The committee concurs that increasing number of oncologists and oncology nurses is extremely important. And Mr. Speaker, the committee's recommendations are intended to support ongoing efforts and of the government and other stakeholders. Mr. Speaker, we also noted, and members also rightly noted, that there may be need to actually amend some laws, particularly in relation to SHA. And one of the issues that came about is that SHA is not performing because many patients with cancer actually enroll and get treatment at the same time. So there's need to look at some waiting period. And Mr. Speaker, the committee has actually made proposals on the laws that need to be reviewed. That is part and parcel of this report. Mr. Speaker, if we pass this report as it is, then the next move is to get those proposed amendments in place to try and improve the services for cancer patients and all patients in our country. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply.
Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Professor, take your seat, the nearest. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is that this House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Health on its consideration of public petition number 21 of 2025 regarding access to health care by cancer patients in the country, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 8th April 2026. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, on the next order, once it's called, the House Business Committee directed that due to the continuing influx of proposed amendments to the Fisheries Management and Development Bill, National Assembly Bill, number 29 of 2023, that bill will be stayed for committee consideration to next week. So when we go to committee, as we will right away, we will only deal with the Quality Healthcare and Patient Safety Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2025. Members, can you call out the next order?
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
Will you be upstanding, honorable members?
Honorable members, this is the Committee of the Whole House on the Fisheries Management, Quality Health Care and Patient Safety Bill, National Assembly Bill number 41 of 2025. The Majority Leader, the sponsor of the bill. Honorable Owen. Okay, let's proceed.
Clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17.
I propose the question that clause 3 to clause number 17 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 3 to 17 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Order, honorable members. Honorable Bowen. Majority, help me, leader, help me get the attention of the House.
the honorable members. Members are not even concentrating, so nobody's responding to the ayes have it. Could you disband that Kamkunji? Thank you. Okay, let me repeat that. I propose a question that clause 3 to clause number 17 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 3 to clause number 17 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 18.
I propose. Does it have an amendment? Yes. I propose the question that clause 18 be part of the bill. Mover? Chair Health?
Chair, I move that clause 18 of the bill be amended as in the order paper by inserting the words on recommendation of the Director General immediately after the words Cabinet Secretary. The justification here being the Director General needs to perform the role of developing scope of practice. That is actually what he should. So although officially it will be under the hands of the Cabinet Secretary, but with in consultation with the Director General.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 18 be amended as proposed. May I put the question? I now put the question that clause 18 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 18 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 19, 20, 21, and 22.
I propose the question that clause 19 to 22 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 19 to 22 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 23.
I now propose the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. Mover?
Chair, I propose that clause 23 be amended as in the order paper by inserting the words for their employees immediately after the word training. Basically, it is talking about the training of employees of health facilities, but it was not clear who was being trained. So if we insert the word, the training of their employees, it becomes more specific.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 23 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 24, 25, and 26.
I now propose the question that clause 24 to 26 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 24 to clause 26 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Yes, your point? Yes, Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, maybe I was a bit distracted, but are we on 27 or 26?
We are on 24 to 26.
Oh, sorry then.
Okay.
Thank you.
I now put the question. I now put the question that clause 24 to 26 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 27.
I now propose the question that clause 27 be part of the bill. Mover?
Beg to move that clause 27 be amended as in the order paper, and we actually deleting J, and this was saying what the authority does, And so when it comes to inspection, if this was done, then subsequently we would remove it from other regulatory authorities. However, the other regulatory authority would still need to inspect, but for the purposes of internship training. So this was removing that, and now we are restating it so that they can continue to inspect, but basically for training of interns. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Millie. Let me propose the question, then I'll give you time to debate it. I propose the question that clause 27 be amended as proposed. Okay, Honorable Millie, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just need clarification from the Chair of Health, because their proposed amendment is actually to delete J, and he has not quite given a good reason for deleting J, because from what the clause 27 says is a function of the authority shall be to inspect and accredit health facilities for purposes of internship and training. I don't know why they think they should not be doing that, unless I misunderstood this amendment.
Chair, you may clarify.
Explanation is that if we establish this authority, it is dealing with facilities, management of facilities. We still have other regulatory authorities that are dealing with the issues of internship and training. So if we then have this in both facilities, then of course there'll be a conflict. So the issue here, if it's removed here, then it now resorts to the regulatory authorities that deal with training and internship.
Yes, Honorable Millie, are you satisfied?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would want to persuade the Chair of the committee otherwise, because even though there are many regulatory authorities that are dealing with training, but it's general training on health matters, but this is specifically on healthcare and patient safety. So it's really very specific. It's not generally about, medical care. And Chair, because this is really, really a good bill, especially for those of us who are concerned about human rights, and because we are focusing specifically on the healthcare of patients, then we are looking at an authority that is looking at training that is tailored specifically to that. So I don't know, I'm requesting the Chair if he could reconsider that, because this is a very specialized training.
Yes, Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Maybe in addition to what Millie is saying, instead of deleting, maybe you can qualify that J by indicating that that training is specific to the safety issues. And that will still sort out the issue.
Okay, Chair.
Chair, if you look, it is about facilities. Like when you go to D, you will see enforce compliance with quality of healthcare, inspect health facilities for compliance with the quality of health standards. And so what we are really doing here, let me try to explain it further. We are creating this authority, and what this authority is going to do is actually look at the quality of care in facilities. So when it is inspecting, it's inspecting in terms of delivery of services. Now, there are other regulatory authorities like in this, the Medical Practitioner Dentist Council, the Nursing Council, the Clinical Officers Council. They are particularly for training. So their role is to go and visit those facilities if those facilities are good for training. Facilities may be adequate for offering services, but they may not be adequate for training. Now, what they were trying to avoid is where you have somebody then can say, but I can also qualify this facility for training, but another one says, I don't qualify this facility for training. So we thought, make it very clear, because if you're talking of service provision, the quality of care and so on, that is taken up in all if you look at all the other parts, it dealt with that. So this one of training, particularly internship training, is specific, and we don't want it to be actually be done by more than one authority at the same time. So that is why actually it is being removed from there.
Honorable Millie, are you satisfied now? Because it seems there'd be a conflict on different accreditations.
Madam Chair, I'm not convinced because actually using the same argument, you see other clauses in the same clause that does not just talk about infrastructure. You also have, I can give him for example, it talks about G is establish and implement a system of accreditation of health facilities for quality of healthcare. So it's not just about the infrastructure. However, maybe to move us forward, and maybe Chair, perhaps I would dare say, because I am an expert in mainstreaming human rights, and one of the challenges that we normally face when you are mainstreaming human rights is that when you put them overally in other broader categories, they disappear. And that is why, for instance, that you have a very specific bill on the rights of patients. Otherwise, the Healthcare Act already has, the Health Act already has a section on the rights of patients. But maybe to move us forward, let's go, but there is really no harm leaving it there so that you have a very specific body dealing with the rights, training. Maybe just as Honorable Makali Mulu has said, that perhaps we could have qualified it to say that that the training is specific on human rights or rather on the rights of patients. But maybe to let us forward, I can let it pass.
She's let it pass. Okay, thank you, Honorable Millie, for being gracious. So, where is it? I now put the question that clause 27 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 27 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 28.
I now propose the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 29.
I now propose the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. Mover? Chairperson Health?
Chair, I beg to move that clause 29 be amended as in the order paper, and starting with one, inserting the words in the health sector immediately, the words in paragraph F, and if you go into paragraph F, what you are finding in paragraph F is when you are dealing with the experience, you want experience of this person appointed to be in relation to the health sector. So that is why that other word is being inserted. And if you move into 2, when we are talking of to represent, then we are talking, talking of nominated by, we are looking at if there people are represented and the appointment is done by the cabinet secretary, that representation is actually lost. So it is normally better that the group that is being represented is nominated. The person who is representing is being nominated by the group they are representing, but then of course is appointed by the cabinet secretary. And the other one is the word public appearing in that consumer bodies. We want representation of the consumer bodies so that you don't just have health people that are being in the board, but you want the consumers also be represented.
Then also inserting a new paragraph, representative of statutory regulatory bodies appointed by the cabinet secretary. As I indicated, these regulatory statutory bodies are now being removed from regulating facilities and being left to regulate basically the personnel, the professionals. But it is still important that they have a say in what actually is happening. So let's give an example. We will not expect surgeons now to be the ones that are inspecting and saying maternities should be this way or theater should be this way. It is being done by this body, but it's important that they have a representation when the process is going on so they can make an input.
Okay, thank you. I now propose the question that clause 29 be amended as proposed. Yes, I'll have Honorable Muli and then after that, Honorable Mili.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Even as I support these amendments, I'm looking at H and HA. I think from a drafting perspective, Honorable Chair, HA should have also been drafted the same way as done H, where the statutory regulatory bodies nominate and then that person is appointed by the cabinet secretary. That makes it clear. Otherwise, the cabinet secretary can just go out there, appoint one of them and say it's a representative. So I would imagine in terms of drafting, we could just say a person nominated by the regulatory bodies and then appointed by the permanent secretary. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Honorable Mili, let Honorable Mili speak, and then you can respond to both.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I do support, and I think the proposed amendments by the Chair actually strengthening the voice, especially if you are talking about patients' rights. It's just unfortunate that, because I think of Mwongozo that we have to limit. Otherwise, I would have preferred that we even have a stronger voice. Chair, because I think I was dealing a lot with the fisheries management bill, I was not able to bring my amendments, but I would have actually inputted that the persons who are appointed under I think, should be persons, consideration should be given to gender, age, and regional representation. I think that should always be a standard provision as provided in our constitution. But otherwise, I support.
Okay, yes, Chairperson?
I just say that I actually do agree with the comment of Honorable Makali, and if in just terms of formatting it, you can say nominated by and then by the regulatory authority and appointed by the cabinet secretary. I have no problem with that. Okay. And then, then we can do as a further amendment that that is under HA, a representative of statutory regulatory bodies appointed by the bodies, nominated by the bodies and appointed by the cabinet secretary. I think that, yeah, this does it. A person nominated by statutory bodies and appointed by the cabinet secretary.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Want me to sign it or is adequate?
It's okay. It's on the hand side.
Yeah.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 29 be further amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 29 be further amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as have the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 29 is as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? As many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 30.
I now propose the question that clause 30 be part of the bill. Mover?
I propose that clause 30 be amended as in the order paper. And basically what we are doing is when people qualification to be appointed as the chairperson of the board, and we are talking of a health-related field, and that is actually very broad and not specific, and therefore we are substituting the words health sciences. That makes it more specific. And the chairperson under C, deleting C and substituting for the following, has professional practice, knowledge, and experience at least 10 years. What we are doing is reducing for 15 years, which is actually long. If you give such long experiences, quite often you don't actually get people. It excludes, it tends to be exclusive. And under D, again, serving in a position of 10 years, again, we are saying that is also a bit exclusive, and so we put 5 and just reduce what is required. So the 5 years for senior manager level is ideal for appointment of the person if you have put the others in place. And again, healthcare sciences as above, that is just making sure that we have the specific field. Thank you, Chair.
I now propose the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed. I now put the question. Yes? Okay, let's Honorable Oundo, then Honorable Mili, and then Honorable Makali.
Chair, as much as I wish and I support the amendments, but there seems to be a bit of a contradiction that the chair need to become very clear. Under clause C, we talk about professional practice, knowledge, and experience of at least 10 years. Yet when we come to D, is now for management for 5 years. So we need to be very clear, because yes, you have that 10 years. Does it mean in effect, in totality, you need almost 15 years? In effect. That's the constructive way to look at it. Because first of all, you need 10 years in practice, which might not be at senior level, because you will not be appointed at senior level if you don't have the requisite experience. Just that clarification will help much for people to understand.
Yes, Honorable Mili.
Thank you, Chairs. And Chair, my apologies that I know we need to move very quickly, but those of us who do a lot of mainstreaming work, we look at the interest of different sectors. So I just want to support this, especially on the reduction of age, because it takes in the interest of young people. I support.
Okay, Honorable Makali. Let Honorable Makali speak, and then you can respond to all three.
Okay, thank you. What I wanted to say is that even as I agree with this amendment, for me, I think the chairperson of the board might not necessarily be a healthcare worker, because that's basically chair. I've actually sat in boards where the chair even Swahili lecturers, and they have done very well. I would remind the secretary being a health-related person, but the chairperson of our board, we should leave that open to somebody who can really move the board to do their work effectively. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Okay, Honorable Chair.
For Honorable Undo, it not need necessarily be actually 15. It might actually be it could actually be 10, because if it's those 10 years, you have also had the professional experience, then the other 5 years come in. So actually the maximum would then probably be 15, but it could be as low as 10. And then for Honorable Makali, if you look at professional practice, knowledge and experience, it's at least 10 years in health governance, leadership, health administration, or even public policy. It has been made broad enough. It has not been restricted to technically health people.
Okay. I now put the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 30 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 31, 32, 33, and 34.
I now propose the question that clause 31 to 34 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 34 to clause 31 to clause 34 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 35.
I now propose the question that clause 35 be part of the bill. Mover?
I propose that the bill be amended as in the order paper, and basically what we are doing here is, once again, when saying health-related field, that is rather broad, and we need to be more specific. Healthcare sciences. Now, healthcare sciences is also broad, but brings all the health professionals in. Related field may actually may actually be far off. So we think that healthcare gives a better field than health-related field. So it's basically as we had had in other argument.
Okay, thank you. I now propose the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 35 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
I now propose the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
Okay, I now propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Mover?
Chair, I propose that clause 37 be amended as in the order paper, and the justification is this: as it is now, it just states the corporation secretary shall be the secretary to the board, and leaves it at that. What is being done is now the corporation secretary shall be secretary to the board, and you are giving actually the mandate. So it's giving a lot more detail on what the corporation secretary will do.
Okay, I now propose the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed. Yes, Honorable Ounda.
Chair, while I welcome the broader part of that clause 3, I just want to seek the wisdom of the chair, because if you look at clause 29, the chief executive officer is a member of the board. Now, when you come to the amendments provided here, It says transmit the decisions and resolutions of the board to the Chief Executive Officer for execution, implementation, and other relevant action. So it beats logic. If the Chief Executive Officer sits there, obviously must be taking part and parcel of the deliberation and must have known what directions to be given. Now, if you ask the Corporation Secretary to again now give direction to the Chief Executive Officer, are we not usurping the role of the board? Second, Honorable Speaker, and we also need to also provide some wisdom or clarity, is also on F. Provide guidance to the board on its duties and responsibilities on matters relating to governance. I do believe anybody who sits on the board must have been adequately trained or capacity built to understand the tenets of corporate governance. Is we giving now a situation where the Corporation Secretary now actually starts directing the board. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Okay. Honorable members, I now put the question. Does the chairperson want to clarify?
Yes. We did discuss that quite a bit. Transmitting the decisions and resolutions. Basically, if you look, what he does is actually he takes minutes. So that as much as the officer is also in the meeting, but the actual minutes and the resolutions as written down the meeting, then goes to this in the hands of the Corporation Secretary. And then if you look at F, provide legal advice to the provide guidance to the board on its duties and responsibilities matters relating to governance. It goes with E, where it's providing legal advice. And I think this comes from a mwongozo that actually says all our corporations should have a corporation secretary. The committee's understanding of this is that if you're providing legal guidance, it means even during meetings, when decisions are being made, it is your duty to say, yes, board members, you can do this, but if we go this way, we'll have this problem, go this way, we'll have problem. If you've been in this many of these governance meetings, that normally becomes very necessary. As boards are making decisions, there's somebody who looks at the letters of the law. To some extent, in my view, the way we have legal officers in our committees, so that they guide you until you go that way, you may be not within the law. That is the understanding of the committee on this amendment.
Yeah, and I think this is pretty much standard practice, actually.
Okay.
Are you satisfied, Honorable Owunda?
That explanation, I'll let it go, but I just want to tell you, you have made a corporation secretary a little more powerful, and will cause discomfort to the CEO, but time will tell.
But surely we can't deal with insecurities of a CEO in the legislation. Thank you. I now put the question that clause 38 to 48, I now put the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 37 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and 48.
I now propose the question that clauses 38 to 48 has read be part of the bill. I now put the question that the clauses for 38 to 48 as read out be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, and 56.
I now propose the question that clauses 49 to 56 as read out be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 49 to 56 as read be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 57.
I now propose the question that clause 57 be part of the bill. Mover?
Chair, I wish to propose that clause 57 be amended as in the order paper by inserting in subclause 2, sub AA, appoint quality assessors to conduct the accreditation of health facilities. What we're doing here, Chair, is ensures that the authority is being given the mandate to ensure that the accredited health facilities comply with the quality of healthcare standards. So what we are doing is actually giving them the power to appoint these officers who will actually do that work, because otherwise it would be hanging. Thank you.
Okay, I now propose the question. I now propose the question that clause 57 be amended as proposed. Yes, Honorable Ounda.
Chair, probably would need to let us know what will be the qualifications of quality assessors so that we do not have, and what are the moral requirements, integrity requirements, ethics requirements of the assessors, so that we know the assessment report provided is for the good and benefit of the healthcare system in this country.
Honorable Zamzam, member for Mombasa.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi katika hili naona niunge mkono kwa sababu kuna wengi wamefungua facilities hawana qualification. Unapata mtu amefungua pengine facility ya kutibu wendawazimu, mwenyewe hana madaktari wa kutosha, mwenyewe haelewi, hajasomea, hana credential na ana run, wakati ambapo serikali upande mwingine pia imeweka budget ya kuweza kuangalia watu kama hao. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Chair, mimi naweza kuunga mkono. Asante.
Thank you.
Chair, what has been raised by Honorable Ounda is actually important. But if you look at the work these people do, there are so varied areas of work that probably it would be a lot more, it would be too much details in the legislation. I think that should come in regulations on when they are setting up the appointment of those people. And that their moral issues, their qualifications, this is what now you leave to the board, looking at what they intend them to do, because there are very many areas of assessment that will be involved.
Yes, and the assumption is that someone will always have their own job description.
Yes.
Yeah. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 57 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 57 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and 70.
I now propose the question that clauses 58 to 70 as read out be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 58 to 70 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and 82.
I now propose the question that clauses 71 to 82 as read out be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 71 to 82 as read be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 83.
I now propose the question that clause 83 be part of the bill. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that clause 83 be amended as in the order paper, and A, by deleting the word any other written law, and the issue that we are removing that any other written law is because of I said this tribunal is actually dealing with health facilities and operations in the health facilities. There are other regulatory bodies that also deal with that. And if you then say any other written law, again, as you had argued earlier, you will have a conflict with all the other regulatory authorities, because then this authority will, this tribunal will then also be dealing with what they deal with. So that is why we were doing that. Mm-hmm. And in B, by decreasing subclause 2, that the tribunal shall be a successor of the dispute resolution established under section 44 of the social Health Insurance Act. Why we need to remove that? This is we are dealing with facilities. So this tribunal is dealing with issues that relating to quality of care in the facilities, quality of care to a large extent, facilities, equipment, and things like that. Now, the tribunal, which is set up under the under SHA, is actually dealing with financial issues, and that is actually an insurance issue, and so it will be dealing with finances, and therefore, if you then remove it because of this, then you are really extending the function of this tribunal way beyond what it should do in the area of actually insurance. And I think it will not only have a problem with SHA, it could even have a problem with other insurance issues. So that is why we said we are limiting it just to that. And then in D, that is in subclause 4.
Yeah, on that one, I don't think there is any argument. I think there's no disagreement on that one.
Okay, so fine. So it's amended as is in the order paper.
Thank you. Okay.
It suffices.
I now propose the question that clause 83 be amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 83 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 83 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 84.
I propose the question that clause 84 be part of the bill. Chair?
I propose to move that the clause 84 be amended as in the order paper. And again, we are just removing the word as any other, in any other act, for the same reason that there are other acts that deal with matters of health that are not just facilities. So if we leave that one, then we again have a conflict with the other acts. And between health facilities, again, basically that's the same, that's the justification.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 84 be amended as proposed. Yes, Honorable Millie and Honorable Oundo.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, wish to support this amendment, even though the chairman of the committee has not spoken to the second one, which is a very good amendment because they're deleting the words between health facilities, patients, healthcare providers, and regulatory bodies, when this bill is really about patients and health facilities. But I would want to just encourage the chair to internalize putting the patients first, because it's about patients. even though it's patients and health facilities, but the issue is about the rights of patients. And the Chair, the reason why I'm saying this is some of us have actually been victims. And even though I'm a lawyer and I let this go, because sometimes the legal process is too protracted. When you have a very specific tribunal that deals with the rights of patients, then it means even our healthcare facilities will be, a bit more sensitive. We have too many women who are dying because of careless services, and because of this, at least our health facilities shall be better guided in dealing with our patients. I do support.
Yes, Honorable Launda.
Chair, and that this lawmaking process also becomes a learning process. Chair, Dr. Nyikal, probably need to also let us understand the connection between the health facilities and the medics. Because I know for sure there is another system or mechanism where you can have a redress when a medic, be it a doctor or what, has probably accused of professional negligence. So just try to clear that gray area between the health facility, because health facilities are manned by medics. So just clear that air so the Kenyans who are learning like me can understand.
Okay, yes, I'll give you an opportunity while then Chair, you'll respond.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think most of my concerns are based on the issue. Most of the time, we don't have the issue with the facilities, but the people who are dealing the medics are the problem. So I think we also need to be very sensitive more on the personnel than of the facility itself.
I think for personnel already, there is a medical dentists and practitioners board that deal with disciplinary issues or negligence or misconduct. So already the medics are taken care of. Is that the case?
I can add to that. That actually is the essence of this bill as a whole, that there has been that the people who are dealing with the personnel are also dealing with the facilities, so that there is a gray area. So what is this bill is doing is actually saying, when you are going to regulate the personnel, the professionals, there are professional bodies that regulate them. But those professional bodies have also, like the Medical Dentists Council, have been trying to also look at what the facilities are in relation to patient safety. Are the equipments okay? Are the buildings okay? The number of staff that is there, is it okay? So, which if you look at carefully will not be the mandate of, say, a surgeon. He wants to go and he gets things done. But whether the ward is okay, how the ward is done, he has a say on that. And many times things will go wrong because the professional is okay. If again I use the surgeon, the professional is okay, but the equipment and the facilities that is being used is not okay. And therefore, you get lost when things go wrong. Now, it will be quite possible here now that you can make a very clear distinction so that this authority will actually be more keen on how the facilities that are used on patients, the equipment that are used on patients, how are they in good order? Are they adequate? The number of say, nurses. You can do good surgery, but if you have very few nurses following up the patient after surgery, things will go wrong. The patient may bleed because there are not enough nurses and they didn't know the patient was. The surgeon has done his work and gone. So the fact that the numbers of the staff that required are less is actually a patient safety issue more than the professional skill of the person who is looking after the patient. So this bill is looking at that. I don't know whether I'm making sense to Honorable Oundo, but that is the essence of this bill.
Honorable members, I now put the question that Clause 84 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 84, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98.
I now propose the question that clauses 85 to 98 as read be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 85 to 98 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 99.
I now propose the question that clause 99 be part of the bill. Mover?
Let me just look at it. 99, person who. Yes. Chair, before they said the Medical Practitioner Dentist Council, for example, was dealing with the issue of personnel, the professional qualification, and so on. At the same time, they were dealing with issues of facilities. So amongst their staff, there were people who were actually dealing with facilities. Now, if that now is removed from them, then some people will be declared redundant because that work is not. And so what this thing is doing, this clause, is saving their jobs so that they'll automatically move to the authority that is now dealing with the facilities. And that's the essence of that amendment.
Honorable members? Yes, Honorable Aunda? Let me propose a question first. I propose the question that clause 99 be amended as proposed.